We're going to go ahead and go straight to questions for Ross. If you have one, as always, raise your hand within the Zoom platform or send us a note in the chat, and we'll be sure to monitor both of those areas as we fit in as many questions as we can. So to kick us off, we're going to start with Bob Hawkins. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Ross, looking a little bit ahead to Daytona, how do you manage kind of the desperation of wanting to get in the playoffs versus, not wanting to cause something crazy there?
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? I don't want to cause a big wreck. I've done that, and I'm trying to learn from it. I used to get really freaked out and worried and stressed about super speedway races, but I've just realized over my 10 years in the sport, and really I learned it from Johnny Sauter. He said something one day that resonated with me, that like, we're all going to crash. We're all going to be backwards in the grass at 200 miles an hour at some point. If you make it, you probably got a shot to win still. If not, go home. So yeah, we'll just go race. But no desperation. I just want to win and compete, in this series. So whatever happens there happens.
And I guess, do you take anything from the way that when Xfinity race ended with your teammates, and as far as a learning process of kind of what to do at the end of those races? Yeah, for sure. I still hate that, that I made that desperate move on the last lap, and I just could have done so much better there, and just been a better person about it. And I wasn't, and I didn't do that. So yeah, I've learned from that, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question is going to come from Woody Kane. Go ahead, Woody.
Hey, Ross, appreciate your time. Just to follow up on that, I mean, super speedway races are crazy anyway, but when you've got this with about a dozen or so guys, the only way they can get in is to win. And then, the locked in guys are probably going to be looking to build up some playoff points. I mean, it puts a lot of different agendas on the table at once. How crazy do you expect it to be with all the differences going on?
I have not been a part of a boring super speedway race in my career, so I whether it's February or spring Talladega or fall Talladega, I don't see there being a difference. It's gonna come down to a handful of cars that still have all their fenders and body panels intact, and from there, you race it out. Just making it to that is probably the biggest thing, and then the true, the same guys cycle up there. The same guys restart the green, white, checkered in the front three rows, 4 out of 5 times. And so that's where I've just tried to watch and learn from those guys, because they end up back up there, for the ends of these things. So I haven't been a part of a boring one yet, and I don't expect this, or Daytona this time to be any different.
When you're watching those guys and looking back, is there any common thread that jumps out at you besides just luck? I mean, is there something that those guys do to get up there all the time?
It's not luck. I used to think it was, but it's not. They put themselves in the best positions and in the right position to be up there. So yeah, it's not luck. Or if it is luck, then they make their own luck, and they make the luck so they can be up there at the end.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question is going to be in England. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Ross. Aaron England, RacingRefresh.com. Ross, a lot of media attention around your Trackhouse announcement, which will be in at least the next portion of your career with Team Chevy. It seems like just about all of your major success has been with Chevrolet. Talk about the speed Chevy's had this season, and maybe how that'll benefit you over the last couple of weeks leading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a good time to drive a bow tie, and I'm proud that I'm happy, just genuinely, that like my success came with them, like you said, and it wasn't on purpose. I'll be honest, it was just the way the different teams I've driven for worked out. But once that success started happening, then Chevrolet, GM, Pratt Miller, that's when the resources started coming my way to help me be the best race car driver I could be. I was not in a pipeline. I was not in a
development program or anything. And so to get there and then get their attention, for them to help me, that's kind of made our relationship special, I think, where it wasn't pre-planned, and now they knew me before and I knew them before, and now we work together. So it's a good time to drive a Chevy in the Cup Series. We've had some incredible power this year, and not saying every week we have the most, but there's not many that beat us, and that's you see it across the board. So all that stuff goes in cycles, though. So I know it's going to come back around, and we're going to be in a Chevy for the foreseeable future. And I've built a lot of friendships and relationships now. And just how can I help, right? How can I help the bow tie? How can I help Chevrolet get more out of this than just race cars, right? What can we do during the week, and what can we do off the track as well as on? I want to be the best race car driver I can be, but there's just so many opportunities, and I'm still trying to figure out kind of my role and all that.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, our next question here will come from Kyle Dalton. Go ahead, Kyle.
Thanks, Amanda. Hey, Ross, I just wanted to take a look back. So not the finish you wanted at Indianapolis, I know, but it was an entertaining race in those first couple of laps with a lot of passing. Then in the end, the curb chaos happened. I was just curious to hear your thoughts and get the general mood from the garage after the race with all that happened in those final few laps.
Yeah, I think aside from the curb breaking and coming apart, everything's fine. It's another road course. You got strategy. You got guys cycling up. You guys pitting for flat tires because they, run into each other. It's normal. Same curb we ran there for 4 or 5 years. Like, nobody knew that thing was going to break. We hit it in the Xfinity cars all weekend last year and was fine. We hit it in practice, and Xfinity ran on it. Like, it broke. Something broke, and you don't know it's going to break until it breaks. So, I think that there's opportunities to run other parts of the track right there, or just let us run. The curbing, it didn't slow us down. Like, I heard them say that they couldn't pull out the other curb behind the one that they removed because they didn't want us just going, flat out through there. Well, we already are. They know that. They see our data. And so just take that out and let us be more opportunity for double file down into 7. Hindsight is perfect vision, but there's just, it's a fine track. It's got all the right qualities. And so, I thought everything was okay. I do think that they adapted pretty well. Like, it's got to be a pretty tough decision to say, we're going to remove this whole piece of curbing and track that we've had here for 5 years because we can't get it to stay together. Like, everybody had to learn on the fly. Little did I know I had already destroyed my car at that point. I thought I could keep going, and then ultimately couldn't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, our next question will come from Chris Estrada. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Ross. Thanks for joining us. Michigan's going to be treated with the resin, which we last saw on the concrete at Nashville, where you finished second. So how do you think the resin will work on this asphalt 2 mile at Michigan? Do you expect a wider group to work with on Sunday?
I hope so, but I don't know. I've never raced on resin on asphalt, and definitely not resin on PJ1 on asphalt, which I guess PJ1 is a form of resin the way I understand it. I don't truly grasp what these concoctions are, but sounds like they've treated everywhere the PJ1 was last year, which I did not get to run Michigan last year. Xfinity did not run there, so I ran there in 2019 in all 3 series. But we'll just figure it out, right? We'll just go up there and kind of poke at it and feel it, whenever we have to in dirty air. And if it's got grip, you'll see a lot of us up there. If it doesn't have grip, you'll see us all below it. Like, we can only take what we can take out of it. So it does seem to be more forgiving than PJ1 when it's starting off, where that other substance has to be like activated and warm and run in. So I know they're dragging tires, and right, they want the best race. They want to give us options, and I think that we've got a shot. I don't think the rain up there this week is helping their track prep stuff, but they're gonna do what they can. And you know, they don't want to make it too slick or too gripped up. They're just trying to find that happy medium. And if they get it in the box where we can race in it, then we'll have more options for racing.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.